I want to ask you, what do you think about? Because I think many women are. I'm asking for the women. I think a lot of women get to like late 20s, early 30s, and that tends to be the kind of time in their life where they start to realize that they're now competing with like younger women, younger attractive women. And especially around that time, that's when they're looking to settle down, establish a relationship. And I think a lot of women find it very scary for them because the guy who was interested in them 3-4 years ago now isn't interested in them. Maybe they feel that they're not attracting the same level of guys that they were before, but they really want to lock down someone like that. So let's say there's a woman who's like, she's 29, 30, 31, and she's noticing this transition, this adjustment that's happening with her position in the sexual marketplace, shall we say, but she still wants to, lock down that kind of high standard, high caliber guy. What would your advice to her to be?
First of all, I can't really relate to this because this is not me boasting, but I hit the wall really late. So I hit the wall around 38. I really got good
What
genes.
does hit the wall mean to you?
Oh, I was not as pretty as I was. It was like, it literally after I had my kid, I had my kid at 33. And the tiredness and just age in general, it's like it was a very gradual actually, but I was like, when I got to 30, I started looking at pictures going, oh my God, what is that? You have to look at pictures and videos of yourself. You're doing more and more kind of like editing to those videos.
Right.
But so I can't really, when you say 31, 32, I remember I was doing really well around that time with guys. I was getting really very, very handsome men. But let's say I was 38. I looked like how I was 38. Then, my advice, and why are you asking me this? It's like the blind leading the blind. I'm no good with men. Don't listen to me.
That's something you should be asking me.
I teach men how to attract women. That is my speciality.
I know, but that's because you understand women though. You couldn't do that if you didn't understand women.
It's true, yeah. But you're asking me, how should a woman deal with this point in her life?
Well, I guess I'm just asking.
I think, you know what? I think there's still, even at 31, 32, I think, there are guys looking at younger women in terms of their looks, but a lot of guys that I speak to, they do like a woman who's a little bit more mature. I'm getting a lot of young guys because they're saying, believe it or not, like, I can just talk to you. No, I can talk about things rather than just Instagram and Ozempic or whatever the hell's going on. It's they can talk about a wide range of things with a woman who's, grown up in the 90s and stuff.
I don't disagree. I mean, like, anyone knows me, half the women I've dated have been older than me, but I think that's more of a...
How much older? Just curious. How old are you?
I'm 31 now.
Okay.
So, I mean, the oldest I've paid myself out, I was like 25, she was 46.
Brilliant.
And then I dated like when I was 22, I dated this woman who was like 39. So
did you find, like, it's obviously you're not attracted to those older women because their bodies were any better? I mean, they probably had good bodies, these women.
They were attractive, but yes,
they were attractive, but you can't ever compare them to like the body of a 20. They probably had children and it does stuff to your body. So what was it? It was, is it the fact that they were just, you could have that conversation? I know they're more sexy older women, like they're more comfortable in their bodies and things like that, and exploring with a younger guy.
So for me, and just pre-caveat, like for me, it's not necessarily about age because my ex was like 4 years younger than me. My ex before her was 9 years
you're not
older
into MILF or anything. That's not your thing.
Well, I mean, I like attractive women generally, like a woman, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it was the emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. I think I like to think I'm quite emotionally intelligent compared to a lot of my peers. And I felt that a lot of the time, just with people in general, I felt like I was the emotional parent to them. And with an older woman, generally, I wouldn't have to be. She could look after her own emotions. She could regulate herself, right? I didn't have to, it wasn't like I was just more on their kind of frequency. I just value emotional intelligence and emotional maturity a lot. I find that very attractive in a woman. And so naturally, the women who I just connected more on a mental level, physically, I'd been physical with like younger girls my own age, etc. But there gets to a point where you go, even if I'm sleeping with someone kind of casually, we're both having fun, you're still spending time with that person. And so you still want to enjoy the time you spend with them, have great conversation. So for me, it's because I find emotional intelligence very attractive. And I just found that more.
Maybe that's the advice we need to give the 31-year-olds then, is that they need to stop trying to act like the younger girls and look at what the benefits are of going with a woman that age. There's certain benefits that you can get from that.
But I don't know how many guys I think women look for that, though.
But women need to be more proactive in regards to get off those dating apps. That's what's making so many women depressed, because men have got so many options, and men have got as many options in those dating apps as women have.
No, they don't, Kezia. Not even close. Options. As a number of matches.
Okay, so I'm talking, sorry, I left out a part. I'm talking about the top 5%. So my friend, he's on Raya. And this is interesting, actually. So he is 52, good looking guy, very successful. Don't know why he's on Raya. I was like, you're not famous. But anyway, he's on there. He's like, there's no one famous on there.
Yeah.
And he's like, look who I'm matching with. And I was like, these were 10s, these women. And he's going on dates with them. So 1 year later, he's been on multiple dates. I was like, what's going on? Like, why haven't you settled with any of them? Or he's like, no, it's just one swipe away to another girl. I was like, but if you'd have met those women in real life, approached them, you would have gone on a second, third date. So they're all being replaced. So he's not getting anywhere because he's got this false sense of like just endless options. It's like the dating apps for the successful people, for an average plus woman and the top 5% men.
Yes.
It's like, those fruit machines,
Yes.
You just keep putting in money, and you just keep, what's next? What's next?
Yep.
So he's not settling down. He's not winning from this. And the women just ghost men because they've got endless options.
Very true.
But yeah, you're right. The average guy on it, he's struggling. That's why I say to most guys, you really got to get off the dating apps and start approaching. But I would say that to women also, to go into the bars, go into the clubs. So my sister, she's that age. She's a bit old. She's like 34. I'm like, dude, you're going to marry a cat soon if you don't start doing something,
Yeah.
And the problem is, there's a lot of like 35-year-olds now living in cities who are becoming cat ladies. I've noticed this.
Right.
They're sort of having cozy nights in, watching Netflix, sort of becoming a bit anti-man in general. I think every man's Andrew Tate, they've been told, or something. It's like, men are toxic. And they're sort of going on dinners with each other and things like spinsters. And I say to my sister, like, why the fuck are you going out with female friends to dinner? Get to a bar or a club now. She's like, I don't want to, it's that kind of, what's the point? I like my cat. A lot of them are getting cats. This is really worrying.
Do you think...
Sorry.
No.
I've got this whole theory about this cat thing that's going on.
I mean, the cat lady's been but
it's much more toxic than you think.
Why? Because it's like sedation for them.
Yeah, so they basically, I knew one girl, she got not one, they get 2 cats. This is the thing, they don't stop at 1, they get 2. And then they start staying in more and they go, oh, my cat, I just want to have cozy nights. Be careful. Cozy nights with my cats.
That is true.
And they stay in and they're like, my babies, they start saying, and they call themselves cat mum. And I started noticing the other day, right? Just going a little bit off topic.
Yeah. So, I've noticed this actually, yeah.
Dog women can be a bit like that, but not to that extreme. And plus, when I had dogs, I went out and I met loads of people walking my dog.
Yeah.
Cats, you're inside. That's it. You're trapped.
Yeah.
You're trapped with the cat. And I've noticed like in like some like bookshops, like they sell kind of little cards and things like that. I said, what's all this cat stuff I'm noticing? Cat mom, cat this, cat notepads. Yeah. I was like, come on.
Invest in cat food, guys. Invest in cat food now. Yeah, it's true, but I think
get rid of the cats.
Yeah, I think that what that is for a lot of women though is what porn is to men. A lot of men who have a lack of motivation to go out there, kind of grind themselves to become the man who's attractive, because it just gives them enough of what they're looking for. Men, it's that sexual access to sedate that drive. And I guess for women, it's like the cat gives them enough of a companion to sedate the drive to actually go find a man.
And women need to stop masturbating.
Tell us why, Kezia. You're going to get some heat for that, but tell us why.
Okay, but look, this is my advice, but if they don't take it, it doesn't mean they're bad people or anything.
Let's explore it, for sure.
So I remember I said there's 3 levels of game, 3 layers of game.
Yep.
So the top layer is all the fun stuff. It's like the banter, what you say, the technique.
Yes.
It's the technique.
Yes.
The middle one is, you could say, inner game. It's what calibrates the top layer.
Yes.
So, for instance, let's say you go out with a girl and you do everything right.
Mm-hmm.
Everything right. You haven't said anything wrong or you haven't done something stupid and she's like, he's just not for me. 9 times out of 10, it's because the second layer was uncalibrated. So you were, just giving off a bad energy, or you were a bit nervous, you're a bit awkward, your body language wasn't on point. Hence why people have a couple of drinks to begin with, because that quickly calibrates you. When you have that one, I don't know if you drink. But
I have a drink.
You know that feeling, the first 2 drinks, like, woo, I'm like,
you're merry.
And everyone's like kind of responding well. But unfortunately, if you drink too much, the technique part gets sloppy.
Sure.
Then there's a third layer, and I put that down to actually just avoiding masturbation.
Interesting. Do you know what's really funny, right? I can
explain. There's a deep thing to it.
I think it benefits men as well, but go on.
Not as much as women. So men do need to masturbate sometimes. I would say to men, don't look at porn. Don't even go near porn.
I agree, yeah.
I think with women, I don't masturbate at all. I don't masturbate at all. And there's a few people who've picked up on it. It's very strange. And they're like, I can smell pheromones on you almost. Like there's a thing about you, Kezia. And they're picking up on it. And they're also kind of into this stuff of like not masturbating very often.
Yeah.
And when you don't do it, you're constantly like have this level of horniness that you can tap into.
Yes.
And then you can put it onto someone else and they can feel that sexual energy. So I did, and it was with, Celebs Go Dating.
Yes.
So I went on there a couple of times, but I did something with, Sam from, is it Sam Thompson? Oh, I don't know if that's his surname. He's a Made in Chelsea guy.
Okay.
Sam.
Yeah.
Most people know him, I think. And I taught him something called the upside down triangle. Which is, how to seduce a woman using your eyes. Anyway, so I decided to use this kind of witchcraft on him, which I call it, which is just the sexual energy, which I can tap into at any time. And he said, I've got an erection. He said it on camera. It's on YouTube if anyone wants to see it. He said, I've got an erection. He said, I feel like you've put like some spell on me and stuff like that. I said, no, I'm just using my sexual energy. But you can't do it if you're always spending it. If you're masturbating and fulfilling yourself, you can't use that to control someone or turn someone on. So what happened is then he did a video about a month later he talked about all the dates he went on, and then he goes, and there was this dating coach called Kezia Noble, and he goes, and she touched me on my leg, and he goes, and this electrical current went through me. Now, I don't know.
Fair played.
And I think if a woman is masturbating all the time, just pleasuring herself, then she's also not going to be so motivated. But I think it's also, it's a very lonely thing to do. It's a sad thing to do. And you're sending out that message to the universe. I know I'm getting woo-woo, but you know what I mean? I try not to cry. I think that sends out a bad message to the universe.
Interesting about crying. I know what you mean about masturbation. I guess this is my anecdote about.
But no judgment. I know. I don't want to get too much heat for this. This is just like for me. I don't do it.
I said that tongue in cheek.
No, fine. But I've done things with guys where they've been like, oh, this. I feel like there's something happening here. Yeah. And it's because I just can tap into this realm almost.
I think that's what it is. It's like because that desire, that drive, because you can use that drive for anything. It doesn't just have to be for sexual, for romantic. It can be for, for getting into better shape, for going after your goals, all of this stuff. I think for guys, have you ever heard of like the no fap movement?
Of course, I agree with it. It's great.
Exactly. And I completely agree. Like I noticed when I kind of stopped masturbating myself, I noticed a different level in terms of my capacity to do more in terms of just day-to-day things.
Did you find that you look more handsome, by the way?
I don't know. I'll have to let other people tell
listen.
Me that.
I've seen a woman, sorry for interrupting your flow, but I've seen a woman, she documented because there's a female no-fap now. You know that?
Oh, is that a thing
it's so interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's so interesting. So she basically took a photograph of herself every single day when she stopped masturbating. Her eyes are clearer, her skin's cleared up. She looks like...
That's a new anti-aging thing, guys. Just stop playing with yourself.
People are laughing at home about this, but I'm telling you, there's something in this. I've seen women's faces change, the structure of their face change, their eyes light up when they've stopped masturbating. I've seen, they've shown photographs of it. But anyway, I interrupted your flow. No. Sorry. So you said you were more motivated and...
I think, I've always been quite a driven person, but I think I just had
more focused?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I've just had like a higher level of... I'm an actor, so I do like theatre, TV and film, but also run the show. Also, I own a business. And I think 5 years ago, I wouldn't have the capacity to be doing all that. But I think it's because, I just seemed more focused. I think for guys, for women, of course, I know you're saying a female experience, but I think for guys as well, if you're feeling demotivated, really ask yourself, how much am I playing with myself, and how much am I sedating myself through porn or whatever it is?
It's a horrible word, isn't it? Sedating.
It really is.
It's like alcohol,
That's how you do
drugs.
it.
It's the same thing, sitting there vaping all day. It's like, this is, all of it is just, I probably drink a little bit too much. I'm quite aware of it. And there's no difference to that. But I think that the masturbation thing, I think it's psychological. I think it's just like sending out a bad energy out there, women. Yeah. It's a lonely thing to do.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
And you know what? Actually, it's like I get so horny because I don't do it. That it's like when I do have sex with a guy, it's really, really special because it's like I almost fall in love with him because he's giving me an orgasm. And that's a very precious thing to someone that doesn't have orgasms that often, because you suddenly, then the sex is amazing and am I oversharing?
No, this is what we're here for.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing